What if healing yourself wasn't about fixing yourself, but about freeing yourself? So many of us go through life feeling like something is missing or wrong, constantly chasing after a version of ourselves that we think we're supposed to be. Most times we actually don't have a picture of who we're meant to be, as if the healing process is meant to fix who we are. But what if healing isn't about fixing it at all? What if it's about freeing ourselves? Freeing ourselves from the stories that we've been told about what's wrong with us. Freeing ourselves from the patterns we think we have to repeat. And most importantly, freeing ourselves from the idea that we're somehow broken. Healing is not a destination or an outcome. It's a process of transformation. It's about reclaiming your power, not by changing who you are, but by releasing and by realizing what holds you back. Let's dig into this idea together. Now, first thing I wanted to talk about, healing isn't about erasing your past. It's about taking control of your present. Let me say that again. Healing isn't about erasing your past. It's about taking control of your present. So now, let's imagine that you've been carrying this emotional suitcase everywhere you go to. You have this big handbag, suitcase full of emotions. It's heavy, it's filled with old stories, pain, doubt, and beliefs that don't serve you. Resentment, anger, throw all of that in. You've been carrying this bag for so long. You don't even remember what's inside at this point, but every time you take a step forward, it weighs you down. Here's the truth. Healing isn't about throwing away that suitcase, however. It's about understanding it. It's about opening it up, choosing not to let its content control your life anymore. Healing is about taking control of the present, making conscious choices about who you are today, independent of the baggage of your past. A friend of mine, brilliant woman, but she always felt unworthy. She will walk, in fact, she said when she was younger, she told her mom that she was flying with Superman and they termed her a witch. She couldn't eat with people. They beat the living daylights out of her. They finished her humanity to a point where she felt like when she was in the midst of people, she was so unworthy. She couldn't speak. She couldn't do anything, right? It was sabotaging her opportunities. It was sabotaging her joy. It was sabotaging her success. And I told her, I said, you've got to heal from this. If you keep carrying this thing everywhere you go to, you'll be 50, 60, and you will still carry the grief and the shame of this thing that they did to you, which wasn't your fault, however. But the fact that you're holding on to it without releasing it and letting it go, that's your responsibility. Now, Carl Jung says, I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become. So healing is about choosing who you want to be today, unburdened by the weight of yesterday. That's what healing is. I am a living example of how healing just brings so much freedom to you. High functioning trauma creates patterns that block peace, block love, and block fulfillment. The truth that we don't recognize about high functioning trauma is that you can be running on autopilot, excelling at work, being the strong one in the family, and still feel underlying sense of emptiness. Why, you would ask? Because trauma doesn't always show up as tears or physical scars. It shows up in the unconscious patterns we live by. It always shows up in your chronic exhaustion, your self-doubt, the walls you build around your heart to protect yourself from getting hurt. It shows up in those little things that you used to derive and get so much joy from, and then all of a sudden now you're like, whoa, let them just finish. So you used to enjoy sex with your partner, and now you're just like, when is she going to get off? Or when is he going to get off? You used to enjoy going swimming, now you're just like, whatever. You know, there's no deep connection to anything in life. Patterns block us from experiencing the peace, the love, and the joy we're supposed to have in our lives. I know, it sounds tough. And sometimes you sit down and ask yourself, why me? But that's really not the question to ask yourself. What you should really be asking yourself is, how do I team up with the best person or best people to help me out of here so that I can thrive in such a phenomenal way and my life can flourish. I can be in alignment. Honestly, patterns have no real power over you if you choose to heal, but they have power over you if you don't. And those are the things that we've got to look at today. The root of all suffering is attachment. Your attachments to your old emotional patterns are the things that are blocking your peace and love right now. So you've got to let go of those old patterns. They are not serving you, and you know that they're not serving you. You know. But sometimes the laziness to do anything about it, sometimes the fear to do anything about it. What if I fail at it? What if I succeed at it? That's because there's two sets of failure, or fear of failure. Sometimes just touching it and going back to it and reliving it, as some people say. But I tell them you cannot relive it. You can only review it. Review it, make a new sense of it, reframe it, and release it. I mean, it's review, reframe, release. Very simple. Well, the truth actually is, it is very simple. That's the truth. But we overcomplicate things. We like things to be so tough. X plus Z minus Y equals Q plus Z. Why? When it's just 3 hours. And it all leads to you releasing it. And that's what you need to do today. Because when you heal, you step into a version of yourself that is more aligned, more powerful, and more whole. Wholesomeness is so beautiful. The real magic of healing isn't just what you release. It's also about what you step into, who you become. When you let go of your past, you make space for the person that you can become and you were always meant to be. You know, sometimes I wonder that, but God, why did you allow some of these things to happen? But if God didn't allow some of those things to happen, I will not be the woman that I am today. I will not be the resilient, powerful, strong, and soft, kind-hearted, empathetic, compassionate, joyful, free. I will not be any of those things today. So I didn't like all the trauma that I carried. But look at me now. And look at you now. And look at who you can become. Honestly, it's stepping into the next level of your power. That's what healing does. You become more powerful, more brilliant, more loving, more authentic, more vulnerable. You can share of things without feeling ashamed or afraid or worried or none of those things. And so when you heal, you stop shrinking. When you heal, you show up in the most powerful version of yourself and you own your greatness. I love that. Own your greatness. As I've often said, healing isn't about becoming someone else. It's about returning to the truest version of yourself that's always been within. That perfect person still exists. You are there. Nothing touched it. It's just the stories. So my question today is, what if healing isn't about fixing who you are, but about freeing you from everything that has been holding you back? You honestly don't need to erase the past, but you need to take control of the present. The patterns created by the trauma are nothing but a lie. And when you heal, you free yourself from the lies that block your true fulfillment, love, and peace. When you step into your healing, you're not just letting go of pain, you're reclaiming your absolute power. And you become whole. And from wholeness, you can achieve anything phenomenal. Healing isn't about fixing what has broken. It's about embracing who you've been and becoming the unstoppable force that you are and you always were meant to be. My exercise for you today is this. I want you to reflect on what freedom means to you in your personal and professional life. And I want you to write a vision for what this could look like. That's my exercise for you today. Honestly, let today be the day you decide, I'm going to break free and free myself and just be the person that refuses to allow anything hold me back. Not even the past can hold you back, but you can allow it. And so be that person today who decides that I'm going to go forward in my freedom, because freedom begins the moment you stop being a prisoner of your past. 2025 has to be our best year yet. And so I've created courses, I've created videos that will help us work through January and February. I've done a whole line of videos, and I hope that these videos are going to really help you improve and transform your life so that 2025 will be your best year yet. Don't forget, subscribe, click the notification bell below, like this video, and finally share me with other people so that as you grow the community of people around you, and we have a wholesome society. God bless. Love and light.